Hi, in this video, we will have a detailed discussion on the part of the balance sheet which constitute liabilities. So, which part of the balance sheet comprises of liabilities? If you see here on the left, we have the part of balance sheet comprising liabilities as 3 under the equity and liabilities part of balance sheet. 3 is non-current liabilities and 4 is current liabilities. We will be discussing each of this in detail, but before we go further, we need to understand a term which is called operating cycle. What is operating cycle? It refers to the time taken between the acquisition of assets for the purpose of processing and its final conversion into cash and cash equivalents. If the operating cycle cannot be determined, it is assumed to be 12 months. Now, what has this operating cycle got to do with determining whether a liability is a non-current liability or a current liability? A current liability refers to a liability that can be settled within 12 months from the date of the balance sheet or period of operating cycle, whichever is more. So what this means is, if the operating cycle of a company is 18 months, then any liability which should be settled within 12 months or 18 months, whichever is more. So in this case, 18 months is more. So a liability which has to be settled within 18 months of the date of the balance sheet will be called a current liability, and a liability which has to be settled after 18 months from the date of the balance sheet will be referred to as a non-current liability. On the other hand, where the operating cycle is, let's say, 10 months, then the limit will be taken as 12 months or 10 months operating cycle, whichever is more. And a liability which has to be settled within 12 months will be considered a current liability, and a liability which has to be settled after 12 months from the date of the balance sheet will be referred to as a non-current liability. So this is what the operating cycle has to do with differentiating between whether a liability is a non-current liability or a current liability. So we've seen in detail the difference between a non-current liability and a current liability. We will check out the contents of non-current liabilities now. The non-current liabilities comprise of long-term borrowings, deferred tax liabilities, other long-term liabilities, and long-term provisions. We will see each of this in detail. Let's begin with long-term borrowings. Under long-term borrowings, we need to make sure that the details of secured loans and unsecured loans are specified separately. The following will come under long-term borrowings: debentures, bonds, term loans from banks or from other parties, public deposits, and other loans and advances. We'll move on to deferred tax liability. First, we'll understand the meaning of deferred tax. Every year, the accounting income is compared with the taxable income. And if there is a difference between the two, that is the accounting income and a taxable income, although this is temporary in nature, the income tax on the difference is referred to as deferred tax. Now, in case the accounting income is greater than the taxable income, the tax on the difference between the two is called deferred tax liability. Let's move on to other long-term liabilities. The two items which come under this head are premium payable on redemption of debentures and premium payable on redemption of preference shares. Let's move on to long-term provisions. Let's understand what a provision is in the first place. A provision refers to amount which is set aside to meet a liability, the amount of which cannot be determined with accuracy. A long-term provision is a provision which is set aside to meet a long-term liability. Examples of long-term provisions: provisions for retirement benefits payable to employees, provision for warranty claims, provision for gratuity, and provision for earned leave. So the liabilities over here, the retirement benefits payable, the warranty claims, gratuity, earned leave, etc., are obviously long-term liabilities. So a provision to meet such a liability will be a long-term provision. So we've checked out non-current liabilities. Let's move on to current liabilities. Current liabilities comprise of short-term borrowings, trade payables, other current liabilities, and short-term provisions. We'll begin with short-term borrowings. The following come under this head: loans repayable on demand, bank overdraft, cash credit, loans from other parties repayable within 12 months of the date of the balance sheet, deposits and other short-term loans and advances. We'll move on to trade payables. The two items which come under this head are sundry creditors and bills payables. Under other current liabilities, current maturities of long-term debt, interest accrued but not due, interest accrued and due, income received in advance, unpaid dividends, excess application money due for refund and interest due thereon, unpaid matured deposits and interest due thereon, and also unpaid matured debentures and interest due thereon, calls in advance, and other current liabilities include outstanding expenses, GST payable, Provident Fund payable, or even ESI payable. Finally, short-term provisions. We've seen what a provision is. It refers to amount set aside to meet a liability, the amount of which cannot be determined with accuracy. A short-term provision is a provision against a short-term liability. Examples of short-term provisions include provision for doubtful debts, provision for discount on debtors, provision for expenses, provision for repairs, provision for depreciation, provision for tax, and provision for employee benefits. So, in this video, we've checked out in detail the contents under the liabilities part of the balance sheet. It consists of non-current liabilities and current liabilities, and also how to determine whether it's a non-current liability or a current liability, and all the items which come under these two heads.